Good evening, everybody. How we doing today? I see a lot of circles on my screens. I hope that there are some actual people behind the cute little faces that I see. Um, I see, I see Deborah's kitchen. I hope she's making something good.
We're here.
Oh, hello. I see Jenna and Gabe.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello there. Hello there.
All right.
All of us who were not at Triple Play this week. I know a lot of our fellow I don't know, classmates, or we want to call us here, did go to Triple Play this week. So they're missing out, including our illustrious leader. But I assure you that hopefully you will walk away with something thought-provoking, something that you can take and be more in tune with by the end of today's session. So I'm going to talk to you more about marketing, social media, branding, all that other good stuff that goes along under the entire umbrella of that in itself. I did send the module out. I'm definitely not going to use it during class per se, but there is some good stuff in there. Of course, I made it myself. So at your leisure, it's good bathroom reading material. If you need to want to peruse through it at any time, please do. There are some things that are in there as well as what I'm going to touch upon here, but there are other things in there as well. So please do check and make sure at least that you received it. I do want to make sure that you did get it. And of course, it is posted in our Google group as well. But let's jump into talking about marketing, social media, branding, advertising, etc., etc., etc. So, of course, if you guys have any questions, please do feel free to unmute at any time. I'm happy to try and answer anything possible. You can also type into the chat box on the side of your screen there as well. Yeah. So first, I want to start with all of the marketing and branding, advertising, social media that we are currently involved with now is really coming out of our post-pandemic world, and you've got to think of it big picture here that not just us, but companies of all sizes are trying to navigate these uncharted waters and refine plans for long-term growth coming out of this, right? And to thrive here, we all need to grow, we need to reach, we need to establish trust within our communities that we have by connecting and resonating with all of our clients. And tonight, I hope to help you develop strategies to achieve your long-term goals and produce more immediate results with all of your marketing, branding, social media, advertising, etc., etc. So starting here, this fun map is where we're going to, go here, there, and everywhere, and all across the world here today. But I do feel like that you start with one thing, and I particularly like to start with an online presence. There are a lot of marketers out there, especially real estate marketers, that are used to starting with print advertising. But, in today's world, you really can't skip out on social media, and you can't skip out on being online. It's an inevitable thing that we all have to go through and get through, and that's where we are at today. Wanted to start with this fun infographic, if you will, where this is what happens in 1 internet minute. There's a lot of fun things in this wheel, so take a look here. So, the pandemic upended everything from how we engage with each other to how we engage with brands. Now people are engaging with your brand itself as well. And at the same time, it really, transformed more how we eat, how we work, how we play, how we entertain ourselves. Data never sleeps, and it shows no signs of slowing down, especially what's going on now. So this infographic here really illustrates the impact of with the coronavirus pandemic on the increasing digitization of daily life and how technology is helping to reimagine the future of how we work. So I thought that was kind of fun, so I wanted to share that with you. But it was interesting to see that in 1 minute of the day, and especially because I'm more on Facebook than anything else, that Facebook Live receives 44 million views in 1 minute. That is a crazy number of views in 1 minute. And in 1 minute on Facebook, users share over 240,000 photos. Or if you look at what Google is conducting, 5.7 million searches in 1 minute. Everybody says that we have the attention span of YouTube or the attention span of a TikTok video, which was 30 seconds, but now TikTok has expanded to 3 minutes. So does that mean our attention span has expanded 3 minutes, or just the fact that that they are allowing the platform for people to have more of a voice for 3 minutes? I don't know. If it's 3 minutes, I'm just scrolling past anyway. But 30 seconds is something I'm more in tune to. So keep that in mind, put that in the back of your head, because when we get to talk about homework later on, which, by the way, this is your last homework, home stretch here. So keep that 30-second video view, store it back there someplace. I don't know. I have no hair, so it all falls out. But anyway, put that 30 seconds back there somewhere, so that way when we get to our homework, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, let's move on. So let's start now talking about some of the marketing tasks that us as marketers need to do, because marketing your business is something that has to be done consistently. And if you attend any of my webinars, I use that word all the time. Post consistently on your social media. Be consistent about what you're posting. Make sure your brand is consistent across all of the platforms that you want to be on. So in order to want to reach and gain more audience, more people, more clients, more business, you have to strategically put your business in front of them, and do that by being consistent about it. If you want to build a strong brand, marketing needs to be part of your yearly, monthly, weekly, daily tasks to ensure that you're building that foundation. Where most agents go wrong is that they don't know how or what to do to market their business, monthly, weekly, daily, hourly, whatever it is. Some of the common questions that I hear from realtors are, how do I market my business? There's so many things to do. What's the most important? What do I focus on? How can I make a big impact in a short amount of time? What are what's going to get me the biggest ROI? What's going to get me the biggest results? Okay, there's a lot of questions, and I wish I could answer all of them, but I can tell you that of the marketing tasks, as you see here on your screen, that you need to do every month to at least get the best results for your business. So starting with planning. It's a vital part of your marketing and most often overlooked. And I know it can be overwhelming, but I promise once you have a plan, it's going to be so much easier to follow. Think of it like putting a recipe book. You open up the recipe, you have to plan out what food you're going to purchase, what spices you need, how much time. It says prep time, 20 minutes. We all know the prep time is never 20 minutes, but you have to plan all of that. So it's the same thing with planning for your business. So I'm saying this, you're probably thinking, okay, now what do I plan? Start by planning out your objectives for the month. What do you need to achieve? And let's not throw things out and see if they stick to the wall. Be specific about what your goal is here. Example, you want to grow your Facebook by 1,000 new fans versus growing your social media fan base. Facebook, specific. Social media fan base, not so specific. So by specifying Facebook, I know I need to focus my efforts on that one platform and can make a strategy that meets that exact objective versus being a little bit everywhere. Okay, so brainstorm on objectives, right? How about let's go with the 1,000 new followers on Facebook, right? So maybe you're creating a new ad campaign promoting open house, new listing, something, right? So you're going to then maybe design online branding for cohesive touch points, customer client touch points. And then you're putting in part there to grow your email list by 25% from this particular online branding. You want to generate 10,000 more new visitors to come to your website. You want to get 20 new listings by doing all of these particular things. And in the end, you want to have a customer appreciation day to get referrals from existing and past clients. Yeah, okay. Once you've got your objectives for the month, you want to focus on one or two main ones. You've got some small ones, you've got some big ones. So your marketing needs to be focused, and this will help you stay on track instead of being overwhelmed or scattered, which I probably just overwhelmed you by reading all that off to you anyway. But anyway, when you narrow down those two objectives, you can plan out how you're going to achieve them. And everything that you do for the month is going to center around these objectives. So maybe you've got blog posts, your emails that you send out, your social media content should all be working in support of that main goal. You look at it this way. Once you decide what you want to achieve, you see how we just broke down those steps to get there? Simplify it. Break it down for yourself and simplify it in that sense there. Moving on to social media. Now, social media is a phenomenal tool for any business to connect with their potential customers. No brainer, right? Yeah. But that's also where so many of us struggle. I know. You may say, I don't have the bandwidth to create or find content or create custom things or scheduled or post it. I get it. But you can't afford to ignore it. Social media has to be incorporated into your monthly marketing. And most importantly, you have to be consistent. I can't use that word enough. I wish there was another word for consistent. Thesaurus. Yeah. Anyway, you have to invest some time into your consistency about posting. This is a lot of content that you need to share, but that's because your social media is going to make the biggest impact in your results for the month. Imagine your target audience is a stay-at-home mom. She checks her social accounts in the morning, you get the kids off to school, and then in the evening after the kids go to bed. Okay, so if you only post once a day and it's when she's not online, she's never going to see your post. But you post once a day, and now you reach 100 people with that post. You post again, and you reach 70 people with that post. By posting twice, you've reached now 170 people. Anytime that you can reach more people, that's a strategy you should use. You're going to see a huge improvement when you use social media consistently. So if you haven't already, take the leap, go for it. You have nothing to lose. You have to do homework that has to do with social media. Just saying, put that back there. Yep. Let's talk a little about advertising, which needs to be done every single month. I know there's free things. I know there's paid things. So budget as you will, but you need to do this every single month. Your budget should include advertising dollars to ensure you're growing and getting in front of a new audience. Maybe those dollars are dollars you don't have, but that's okay. You just need to figure out something to do. But when you reach more people know about your business, which means more people can contact you. And now your budget doesn't even have to be thousands of hundreds of dollars. There's a lot of places, Facebook, Instagram, you can advertise for literally $1 a day. So if you actually want to go try something, I don't know if they'll let you do for one day, but I know like minimum 3 days. So even if you spend $3 trying something, you spent $3. Hopefully you've got a budget to try that. Just try. My mom used to tell me that when I was little and I had to go to the bathroom before we went someplace. She'd say, just try. So, but let's say that you take your $1 a day advertisement, right? You reach, 5,000 new people, meaning 5,000 people saw your ad. That's what I mean there. And just one of those people decides to list with you or decides that they want to reach out to you to find their dream home. Somewhere along the line there, you get a commission. That commission's going to cover that $1 you spent, right? And then everything else you get to keep. But that one covered that $1 that you had to spend. So there's a bit of a learning curve when it comes to advertising, but it's worth the time and investment to learn these platforms for your business and which platform is going to be the best or the most bang for your buck. Now, along with that, there's promoting your business. And you're probably thinking, duh. Okay, but what I see from some realtors is that they don't balance their promotion. They use social media only to promote, but they're scared that they'll lose fans if they never promote, or maybe they just have one promotion and that's it. But going back to planning, you have to integrate your promotions in your business. You got to follow the 80-20 rule. You know what the 80-20 rule is? That is the golden rule of marketing. 80% about you and 20% about your business. Yes, get your yellow notepad out, write that down. 80% about you, 20% about your business. I know that sounds crazy that we're doing a business here. Why is it not 80% about the business? Because you want people to connect with you, right? How are they going to connect with you if you're doing 80% about your business? Also, email. Just did a webinar on email. It is effective. It is still effective. It is a step that comes after someone finds your business and continues the relationship. It's unlikely a client magically joins your email list, right? Instead, they probably saw you somewhere online, maybe in one of these ads that you spent $1 on, and they clicked through, they learned more about you, they liked what you had to offer and decided to opt into your email list. Now they made the choice to agree to get information from you. And that's a big deal because once they decide to trust you, you trust you. See where I'm going with that? So give people online a way to connect with you via email. Offer them an incentive, a free report, I don't know, a market analysis of something in exchange for their email address. Then you can use that email to communicate with them every month. I mean, look at Prime Agent, monthly newsletter, put their email into that list, send them a monthly newsletter. Great touch point, great set it and forget it as well. Now, the last task is review. And I don't mean asking for reviews. I mean, you physically need to sit down and review everything that you do. What happened over this past month? What kind of sales did you have? How many new clients? How many clients said, see you later? What kind of website traffic did you have? How many new people subscribed to your email list? Did you use your budget that you said for advertising dollars? Did you use any of it? Did you not use any of it? How many more people liked your Facebook page? Write these numbers down. Did you hit your goal on your objectives that you set at the beginning of the month? What worked? What didn't work? What did you try? What did you try that didn't work? What did you try that really worked well? Based on these particular things, what are you going to focus on next month? I know that this is not the fun part of marketing. Nobody wants to write down numbers and analyze anything, but it's going to give you a lot of data to make the next decisions in your business. It's really going to help you to understand what's going on. So yes, words I use in what I'm saying. Anyway, moving on. So this particular statement, brand equity. What on earth did I just say? Well, it's the value of customer perception of the brand, which builds over time. Brand equity drives short-term activation or performance marketing there and long-term growth. Now, technological advances make it even easier to drive brand performance goals like awareness, familiarity, favorability. All these things just keep growing when you have this here. So, why aren't all companies consider strong brands? Well, it's easy to assume that improving your brand equity is as simple as exposing your prospects to your organization, but rather brand equity requires building mental availability, which is a challenge for many businesses. But with greater mental availability, prospects become more comfortable with your brand and can recall it when it comes time for this buy or sell process, even if they refer to your brand to another customer. They're still recalling it, right? Increased brand equity also improves the power you have behind what you do. It builds competitive advantage. It provides better security in the know you, like, you, trust you factor, more flexibility to branch out into the other side of things. Maybe you're more on the list than the buy side or vice versa, but still that brand equity there, that's where people are recalling who you are from the know you, like, you, trust you, going back to doing all those marketing tasks for the month. So while branding does often show short-term effects, it's even more powerful as a growth strategy because results are longer lasting and it drives that ROI that you really want to achieve. So branding strategies result in short and long-term on the profit side there because they build mental availability, as we just talked about, with the 95% of buyers who are out of market, or those future people, right? So over time, those out of market, the future people, finally will come in market when they need to buy or sell a home. And if you built up enough mental availability by that point, they're more likely to consider or even have you in mind before they even come to see you, from whatever that advantage you built by making sure that you are front of mind with somebody there. So continuing on with that thought there, getting your brand to stick. Of all these things we talk about here, one thing that really plays a part is emotional messaging. This is an emotional process people go through. And it's key to capturing that 95% of buyers and sellers who are out of market for when they are in market. And even though people are rational by nature. They can be emotional in making decisions. And I'm sure, those of you that have experienced the process here, you see that. And as long as your advertising is engaging and it's targeted, people are going to pay attention and remember your brand. Before customers come to market in any kind of buying or selling scenario, they should be primed with the repeat memorable exposure to your brand. And then as those buyers and sellers come in market, more rational messaging can help you capitalize on this underlying brand strength to achieve those short-term results. So I am going to stop yammering on for a minute and give ourselves a brain break for all that wonderfulness to soak in, because I'm sure you're probably going, my pencil doesn't write fast enough. Oh my goodness. But I've got a video here that I would like to show you about the state of video marketing. Put this in the back of your mind for your homework here. So competition between brands that utilize video marketing for promotion, it grows every year. Now you'll see some statistics in what I have here. Many businesses are continuing to increase video production budgets because they see a lot of potential in video. Okay, we all have cell phones, so whatever it is, that's your video marketing budget. You're holding it in your hand. It's right there. So 80% of professionals state that video has helped them generate more leads and increase the amount of time users spend on their website. And what's more important is that 85% of users say they would like to see more video content from businesses in the future. Well, these statistics prove that video remains a win-win content format for both marketers and clients. So let's watch this video to find out more about the latest video marketing statistics and trends. Okay, I'm going to continue yammering on now. So I'm hoping you liked that brain break for just a small second. All right, so let's talk a bit more now about brand building. Because, as I've been saying, about short and long-term strategies, but they need to work together, right? So a study from the Institute of Practitioners in Advertising shows that the optimal balance of brand and demand in marketing is a 60-40 split. 60% branding and 40% direct response. So activation and brand building strategies work together in a virtuous loop of things. Stronger brands drive better responses, and better responses drive more revenue. And in turn, this enables more brand building. So consider that too when you're looking at marketing and advertising and spending those dollars. 60% about branding and 40% about direct response. WTF does that mean? Well, let's keep going because I'm going to get to that. So let's review some key brand building recommendations here that I have here for you to go along with that split that I was just talking about. So share of voice in the ad spend that you capture in your business's category divided by the total ad spend in that category is your invest in share of voice. And I should do this so you can, there we go, see it, there we go. Share of market is the percentage of total market share by revenue. When share of voice is greater than share of market, businesses tend to grow. But until you can measure share of voice by capturing a greater reach and share of market, your greater reach, there we go, and impressions from your target audiences have to come into play. So begin at taking advantage of this. I recommend that you increase share of voice by capturing more reach and frequency with target audiences. So therefore, your advertisements that you do, target audiences. Make sure that you are trying to reach that ad to a certain particular group instead of just saying, hey, whatever. Be specific. You're going to get better response. You're going to get a better, your dollar is going to go farther when you get more of a response when you be specific. Even if that specificity reaches 2 people, you were still specific to get to that target audience. Which brings me to my next point. To grow your customer base. So reach drives customer acquisition and conversion. And a strategy that reaches everyone in your buyer category is stronger than one that hyper targets specific segments. Though I did say be specific. Yes, I did. Through loyalty and retention programs, spur some profit, the percentage of total revenue compared to growing a customer base is smaller than the impact of reach. But that's because reach accesses prospects and also reassures existing customers, instilling and reinforcing positive sentiment over time. Loyalty is a largely predictable function of market share, and it's not possible to sustainably grow by focusing on loyalty alone. But mental availability, as I've been said before too, is the likelihood that a customer will think of your brand in a buying or selling scenario. If your brand elicits a positive sentiment, we're going to get to positive sentiment about things, and is memorable after repeat brand exposure, your brand is more likely to come to mind more easily. Now, this concept comes from the tendency to use information that comes to mind quickly and easily when making decisions. And these decisions are based on familiar facts and images that leave an easily recalled impression in the mind. We'll get more on that later. But first, let's talk a little bit more about, we have a brain break brought to you by Schitt's Creek, real quick.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank you both for meeting with me today.
Is this really necessary?
That's a good question, and the answer is yes. I'm just gonna say it. This place needs a ton of work, like top to tail. We're talking serious but manageable fixes.
I think what you mean to say is proposed improvements?
No, I mean like full-blown things that need fixing. The comment cards, for example, it's become very clear to me that you don't read them.
They're just a placebo effect for people who feel the need to complain.
You have to take those with a grain of salt, honey. Those cards are written by embittered people with way too much time on their hands.
A lot of these are from Mom, but some of them are from people who are trying to point out things like, you don't even have a website.
We have a website.
Nope. I looked it up, and it's just like a cartoon of a construction worker holding a sign that says, "We'll be right back." So,
It's under construction. And the phone booking system works just fine.
actually, the phone booking system is confusing, and the woman's voice was aggressive and off-putting.
I had strep at the time.
Okay. I'm going to offer you both a PR and marketing strategy pro bono. And if you're into it, we'll pull the trigger, we'll work on my contract and my salary, and then we'll get things going from there.
Well, now's not the time to take our foot off the gas, Stevie. And if we have a publicist at our disposal...
Would we call her a publicist? I actually prefer to be called a freelance brand invigorator. And I also have a super easy multi-step plan in place for the motel.
Well, that sounds intense. Maybe we should take a minute and think about this.
Well, I don't think there's any harm in exploring step one of the plan.
That's great, because step one of the plan was this presentation, and we nailed it. So, as your new VP of Marketing and Communications, I'd say we're off to a great start.
I'll pass.
Great moments from a fantastic show. I love that show. But as I was saying before, so we're going to talk a little bit about vision and mission. Let me switch over to my other tab over here. Okay. Present. Okay. So, vision and mission. See, tongue twister there. They are two separate things. A lot of people lump them under one, which is okay, but they are two separate things. So, as I have here, we want to start defining what the overall goal is for your business, right? Now, the goal is to help you create a clear direction for your business, craft a purposeful mission statement, map out the important areas of your business. A business without a vision does not have a clear direction of where it's going or how it's going to get there. Google Maps, right? Recalculating. Okay. So I've got some pointers to help you strategically define what your business stands for and where you want the business to go, and hopefully to give you a better idea of where you want to focus your time and efforts. Next. There we go. So your vision, it really is, it's the future of things, right? It's where your aspirations and goals are going to reach to. It's something that you need the future to happen, to be accomplished. It gives you those core values. Down the road, where's your direction going? Why you do what you do. That is your vision. That is also a vision from the WandaVision show. Marvel fans, anybody? But then you also have your mission. Avengers, assemble. Your mission, which is your present, your current state of things. It's your current objective, something to be pursued for your accomplishment, defines your purpose for what you're currently doing. What does your business stand for? What value are you going to add to push that vision for the future there? Your mission is your standards, what's going on presently. So vision versus mission, you have two separate ideas working in conjunction with each other. So to define what the overall goal is for your business. All right. But let's look at some key components of getting that vision and mission together on the same page. defining them, strategically putting them together. And in those components, your vision and mission is your personal brand. And there's 4 pieces of that personal brand that you need to think about when you're putting yourself together. So, your unique selling proposition, your personal positioning, your elevator pitch. It's a statement of why clients should choose to do business with you rather than somebody else. Okay. So, doesn't matter if you are new or seasoned, this isn't going to happen overnight. A unique selling proposition takes time, it takes thought. Maybe set a goal for yourself, going back to that planning in the beginning there, that in maybe a year from today, you're going to have a unique selling proposition defined. I know it sounds like a long time, but it takes some time. When you're out there in the field, when you're out there doing what you're doing, that's how you're going to put all this together. Okay, so your personal positioning, you need to weave and connect through this throughout your marketing and sales strategies. It's going to require you to identify your key features and benefits, which we're going to put together what those key features and benefits are. It's going to help you define clearly what your clients' wants and needs are. And it's going to become the cornerstone of your brand and allow you to further differentiate yourself from your competition. Now, your verbal expression, this is going to be your tagline, which is 2 separate things from vision and mission, granted together but separate. Unique selling proposition and verbal expression, together but separate. Tagline, short statement, typically 1 sentence or less. And I know throughout my college career, I was taught that that is 5 words or less. Goodness. So if you try to break it down to that, even better. It conveys what you can do for your clients. So try not to create a tagline that is cheesy or unrelatable, although sometimes cheesy and unrelatable sticks. But residential real estate is an emotional and very personal aspect of someone's life, right? So you want to focus your few words on what you can do that's going to benefit them. So, checklist, which is actually in your module. Is it less than 10 words? Like I said, if you can do 5 words or less, you've got it going on. Does it connect emotionally with your audience? Does it communicate a benefit? We're going to talk about benefits. Is it unique to your marketplace? Maybe you've got a niche somewhere in there. Does it capture your brand's essence? We're going to talk about characters. Does it positively match your image, which is a character, persona? We're going to get there. Is it specific? Is it memorable? Yeah, I know. I'm cheesy, unrelatable, sometimes not that great, but still, sometimes they stick. Now, your visual expression can be conveyed in a variety of ways for whatever it is you've got for your visual expression, right? It's similar to a politician or celebrity. The way a politician or celebrity dresses, acts, behaves, it's a moment in time that may last for or live on for an eternity as far as public perception is concerned. But because your brand is dependent upon your image, both need to be held to a high standard, and as they are reflections of you, reflections of the way you conduct your business. Be mindful of everything that you do as you are always your brand. I believe in my module, I have a picture of like Rico Suave next to some dude who just rolled out of bed. What are you? And then each customer that you come into contact with has the potential to refer you more business, right? So make sure your brand experience is exceptional, and you should regularly ask yourself, what is my standard of care for my clients? Do I have a checks and balances system for making sure my clients are happy with my services? Have I implemented a survey of some kind? What kind of feedback am I getting from this particular survey? Am I receiving referrals from current and past clients? Of all these 4 things that I've mentioned, would you do business with you? That is the ultimate question there. Okay, we're going to talk about characters now. So get your yellow notepad out, get your pencil out, because right after we talk about this, there's going to be a live quiz. Yep, I said it out loud. Live quiz. Everybody's got to answer it. This is going to count towards your homework. It counts towards graduation, but we're doing it live. I'm going to see your answers, and so is everybody else in the chat box. So here we go. Let me switch my thing over. Hold on. All right, so we're going to talk about branding characters now. And I mentioned this before, because your persona, your character, would you do business with you? It's the mental framework that symbolizes common human motivations as well as our drives, desires, goals. Did you ever see the movie Never Been Kissed? And she says, and Drew Barrymore sits down at the table with the high schoolers and says, "So, what are your guys' wants and dreams?" Kind of like that. So these brands, these characters, are based on the work of psychologist Carl Jung, who identified personality archetypes. And you can totally Google this. It's a real thing. You may see some sources offer slightly different names for them, but this is what I put together for my research here. And marketing strategists have long used these archetypes for branding for like ever. They help us understand and view your brand that you're trying to make here as a person with all the talents and flaws that accompany it. Yeah, nobody's perfect. Your brand is the lead character of its own story. Are you living a fairy tale? I know, I wish I sometimes. But like any story character, it has values and beliefs. And knowing how to characterize your brand is another way of defining what your brand stands for. Most brands fall into one or a blend of these 12 character types that we are now going to go through. 12 character types. So again, when we are finished talking about these 12 character types, we're going to have a live quiz. No, don't be nervous. It's okay. So let's start with, I don't even know where I'm starting. I'm going to click my arrow and see what happens here. Okay. Well, here are the 12 characters that you could fall into, but let me preface this too. You can be more than one. Can you be more than two? I mean, it's totally possible, but I mean, I'm definitely a combination of two of them. Maybe I should include that in my quiz. What are you thinking? No, I'm just totally kidding. I am definitely a combination. So you could be one single solitary. Cool. Combo. Cool. More than a combo, I think you're overreaching. And you need to be more specific, as I talked about in the beginning, with your marketing tasks. Narrow it down. Okay. So, first one up, the purist. So simply and virtuously, the purist is wholesome, exemplary, highly ethical. This brand type believes in being good and doing good. So a saying a purist might live by, look at everything through kind eyes, or nice guys finish last. And they champion such values as harmony, peace, optimism, simplicity, purity, innocence, honesty, happiness, and faith. And they dislike deception, discord, complication, war, behaving in an unacceptable manner. Opposites, negativity, prejudice, evil. People who represent this brand, people like Julie Andrews, Mr. Rogers, Michael J. Fox, Princess Diana. Purists are for brands that are associated with simplicity, purity, health, and good simple living. Examples of some brands being Disney, Dove, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Sesame Street, Brita Water. Next up, the pioneer, who is an individualist, blazing their own trail in pursuit of freedom, adventure, and new experiences that free their soul. Whether gearing up to climb Mount Everest or going off in a Jeep Wrangler, the pioneer looks for brands that allow them to experience life to the fullest. They are also usually an adapter of, or an early adapter of invention. So a pioneer might live by a saying that says, sleep when I'm dead. Man, I say that all the time. No, I don't. The journey is more important than the destination, and they champion such values as independence, experimentation, self-reliance, ambition, challenge, bravery, confidence. They dislike boundaries, boredom, limitations, stagnation. Opposites, complacency, conformity, and avoidance. People who represent the brand, Amelia Earhart, Christopher Columbus, Neil Armstrong, Billie Jean King. Pioneers are for brands that foster discovery. And examples of brands being Groupon, Trader Joe's, the North Face, love their jackets, Whole Foods, Jeep Wrangler, as I mentioned before, the Discovery Channel. Those are pioneers. Now, the source is looked upon as the all-knowing provider of knowledge. They devour information in the pursuit of knowledge and expertise. They have a high level of curiosity and are looked to for advice and opinions. So a saying that a source might live by is, we owe it to ourselves to find the truth. And they champion such values as truth, knowledge, expertise, intelligence, rigor, diligence, objectivity, commitment, depth. They dislike uncertainty, deception, and falsehood. And opposites like irrationality, naivety, ignorance, treachery. People who represent Oprah, Dr. Phil, Albert Einstein. Sources are for brands that are looked upon for trusted advice, knowledge, or specialized expertise. Examples of brands being like Harvard, Bloomberg, Forrester, the Wall Street Journal. Those are types of sources. Now, the conqueror is notable and identified by an ability to meet and overcome adversity. They are steadfast in meeting challenges head on, no matter how difficult they are. They are relentless, resilient, and confident in their abilities and feel that anything they earn is well deserved. Now, a saying that a conqueror might live by is winning takes talent. To repeat takes character. Kind of sounds like Confucius, right? They champion such values as persistence, success, elitism, strength, status, and honor, and they dislike weakness, self-doubt, vulnerability, and defeat. Opposites would be selfishness, cowardice, and pessimism. People who represent the brand are people such as Lance Armstrong, Michael Jordan, Vince Lombardi. Sources are for brands that challenge, inspire, and empower peak performance. And some examples of those brands are the Marines, Nike, Weight Watchers, Gatorade, types of conquerors. Now, the rebel is unsatisfied with the status quo and abhors convention. Their behavior may be disruptive or even shocking and outrageous to some, but to others, they represent someone who will do whatever it takes to protect their self-expression. So they might live by the saying, they might live by born free or take the road less traveled. And they champion such values as nonconformity, individuality, controversy, rebellion, daringness, boldness. They dislike powerlessness and loss of identity. And the opposite of that would be groupthink, conformity, cowardice. People who represent the brand, Howard Stern, Dennis Rodman and his crazy hair, James Dean, quite the rebel himself. Sources are for brands that rebel against convention, take chances, and pride themselves on their individuality. Some examples of the brands, Harley Davidson, the X Games, WWE. Should not have said that I watched that. No, that's all right. It's fine. Moving on. Now, the wizard seeks out experiences that transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. They represent a universal message of mystery, thrill, and novelty. The wizard seeks experience that makes their dreams come true, whether it's the wonder of technology that never quits, or the magical positions that fight the effects of aging, or a golden passport to all the world has to offer. And some sayings they live by are, anything is possible. Wonders never cease. They champion such values as curiosity, optimism, fun, and surprise. They dislike ordinariness, ineffectiveness. Opposite of that would be pessimism or lifelessness. People who represent the brand, George Lucas, Billy Mays. Here's a good one for you. The Wizard of Oz. Gee, novel. Sources are for brands that transform and create miracles. And some examples of that would be something like Cirque du Soleil. I know it sounds kind of weird, but Viagra. Yep, I said that. Now, the straight shooter abhors pretension and is no nonsense. They will say it like it is and behave in ways they believe are true to themselves. They value being real in all that they do and their relationships with others. They are friendly and informal. They are not one to keep up with the Joneses and marches to the beat of their own drum. So saying they might live by, like, tell it like it is, or I am who I am. They champion such values as realism and frankness. They dislike faking it, self-delusion, deceit. Opposite of that would be superficiality. People represent the brand as someone like Andre Agassi, Charles Barkley. And they are for brands that are common and everyday, that tell it like it is and promote function over form or style. So if some examples might be Miller Beer or Wrangler Jeans, those commercials. Those are straight shooters. Now, I have yet to hear of a realtor being a seducer character, but in any event, I'm still going to cover it, which they are surprisingly, they desire romance, intimacy, some kind of sensual pleasure. They are not afraid to indulge and especially enjoys products and brands that hold strong sex appeal and are thought to promise to boost attractiveness and desirability. So sayings, love conquers all, little romance goes a long way. Their values, intimacy, beauty, passion, desire, ecstasy, and pleasure, enjoyment. Of course, they dislike unattractiveness. Their opposite is purity. Gee. They are people who represent the brand, someone like Bo Derek or Scarlett Johansson. Sources are for brands that provide a sense of romance, connection, and sensual enjoyment. And of course, Godiva, Courvoisier, Axe Body Spray, 1-800-Flowers.com. Those are seducers. And hey, listen, bonus points to you if you can weave yourself into that being one of your characters. Now, the entertainer is your typical clown or prankster, a fun-loving free spirit who wants to only live in the moment and have a good time doing it. They have a unique ability to capture and transfix an audience's attention. They enjoy brands that employ humor and promise fun times. So a saying they might live by would be, the most wasted of all days is one without laughter. Love that. A man isn't poor if he can still laugh. And they champion such values as humor, youthfulness, laughter, gregariousness, happiness, fun. They dislike tragedy and boredom. Their opposites would be humorlessness and sadness. And some people who represent that, Steve Martin, Jerry Seinfeld, Jim Carrey. Entertainers are for brands that help customers enjoy themselves through fun and humor. Some examples, I might be dating myself a little bit, but Bazooka Bubblegum, Dr. Pepper, Looney Tunes, Snickers, Bud Light. I know they always have something fun for the Super Bowl. Those are some entertainers. Now, the protector values compassion and generosity. They put others first, providing tender, loving care, support, and reassurance. So something they might live by is love thy neighbor, lead by compassion. They champion such values as compassion, motherly advice, empathy, generosity, thoughtfulness, sincerity, warmth, and wisdom. They dislike bitterness and harshness. Opposite would be carelessness and selfishness. And some people who represent the brand would be someone like a Mother Teresa or Florence Nightingale. Now, protectors are for brands that are caring and nurturing, providing comfort and peace of mind when clients especially need it. So some examples, Kraft, Cracker Barrel, and Allstate, right? Brings you the warm and fuzzies when you see those commercials. Now, the Imagineer is an artist or an innovator, a dreamer, and they summon artistry and imagination to express themselves and their vision of the world. So a saying they might live by would be, imagination is a possibility, or life is but a dream. They champion such values as passion, ingenuity, creation, originality, artistry, independent thinking things. They dislike boredom, sameness, limitations. Something opposite would be a fundamentalist or traditionalist. George Orwell is someone who represents the brand well. And Imagineers are for brands that enable their customers to create. I know that sounds kind of strange, but yeah. Some examples of that would be Lego, or Nikon, 3M, always creating things, right? And we have the Emperor. So this is our last of the 12 characters here, but the Emperor is the boss, the chief, the king of the castle. They exude power and exert leadership and dominance over others. They prefer products that offer an opportunity to stand above the crowd, where in price, quality, service, or performance. So, saying that I live by, it's good to be king. Or rise above the crowd, something like that. They champion such values as strength, determination, influence, respect, dominance, confidence. They dislike losing. They dislike being poor. They dislike chaos. But some of the opposites would be submissiveness or powerlessness, laziness, weakness. People who represent the brand, Mark Zuckerberg, Margaret Thatcher, Warren Buffett. Emperors are for brands that denote power and help build clients' leadership and superiority. So some examples of Emperor brands would be Cartier, Chanel, Johnny Walker Blue, Rolex, the Four Seasons, Cadillac, some types of emperors, but those are 12 character types. And I can guarantee you that the brand you're building falls under at least one, if not more than one, of these 12, one of the character types. So it's quiz time. So we're all going to pop over to the chat box and type into the chat box, what brand character do you think you are? And again, you can be more than one. I mean, when I was speaking about some, I put a little more emphasis on a couple that I think I am. Me being the seducer and all. No, I'm just kidding. But come on over to the chat box. Kim is the conqueror. Jenna thinks she's the protector and the purist. Fantastic, ladies. I love it. Amanda is a purist and a wizard. I'm going to pull back the green curtain and we're going to see Amanda. Deborah is a protector and a little wizard. All right. Ian's got an entertainer and protector. Milatus is a conqueror. Barbara, purist and protector. Mary's a protector. Stephanie's a straight shooter. I like it. Imagineer. Dina is a protector. Michelle's a protector. Milatus is adding in a purist. Gabe's putting in a romancer. I love it. That's great. Fantastic. Elena is a protector. Cynthia, purist and straight shooter. Wonderful. I might not have decided which one I am. But then again, this is your brand you're building. Johanny is a protector and seducer. Love it. Yes. Fantastic. Everybody has passed the quiz. Everybody gets a check mark for class completion. Well, this is just a little itty bitty piece of your homework, but we all get a check in the box for that. All right, we're going to move on. So keep that in mind. Now keep that brand in mind. Keep that character in mind. Keep it in mind for your homework. Keep it in mind for building yourself, moving on with your marketing, branding, advertising, social media. Take that character, mold it and shape it and put it into a nice little neat package. All right, so let's talk a little bit about our branding layout now. So now that we have we've got our tasks, we've got our character, we need to talk about now our layout. So your visual identity. Now, being new in the industry, your visual identity, you're going to lean more on realty executives. But if you want to branch out a little bit more, I'm sure you've seen some agents, they decide to establish themselves a little logo of sorts, which they have a little color palette to go along with, which is certainly something you can do. But it should work in unison to support your messaging and help you to stand out from your competition. So if you're going to do that, that's what has to happen. But now the next step is to craft that compelling message that pinpoints your unique position in the marketplace, reaching your target audience at both a rational and emotional level, which I did review. So if you have identified unique differentiators, it's important to communicate these throughout your listing presentations, throughout your meetings, throughout your marketing materials. And if you want to stand out, take a different approach. Take that character, tell a different story, find distinctive ways to get your message across. And in your branding and marketing, I see a lot focusing their attention on the tangible attributes of the business, the who, what, when, where, and how. But when everyone can say the same things about the services they offer, the same things about markets and accolades, you're really left in a crowd of people saying, oh, me too. Okay, and so the goal should be to move past these tangible attributes of your business and tap more into the emotional triggers of your target customers by conveying intangible attributes that can't easily be imitated by your competitors. So every strong brand stands for at least one differentiating attribute in your marketplace, and that's why I wanted you to pick that character. Your business already has a position in the minds of your clients and prospects based on thoughts and feelings derived from the knowledge and experiences of realty executives. So it's essential to understand how the market already views all of this and uncover what actually differentiates you, tongue twister, and what you can possess. So talk amongst yourselves over here. You've got a Google group. You can totally email each other. Talk with affiliates you work with. Talk with your clients. Talk with your prospects. You want to really answer the question, why pick me? Therefore, you need to strive to be a consistent, having a consistent user experience with your business, whether someone is physically coming to see you somewhere, or they're visiting your website, or they're reading an email, or they're scanning your Facebook business page, whatever it is, performing a communications audit consistently to take inventory of your current marketing and communications and all the efforts you've got there. Identify inconsistencies and areas that need improvement. That is something that has to be done on a regular basis. All right, so how can your brand stand out? Well, you are already in possession of everything you need to establish your benefit to your clients. Formula. Drum roll, please. For establishing your unique value proposition is hidden within your pre-existing attributes, your pre-existing knowledge, your pre-existing skills, your pre-existing experience, your pre-existing relationships. You need to examine your resume, what already exists there. Examine your life experiences, your educational background. You're going to uncover the qualifications that compose your personal validity. Right? Okay, so examples. The treasurer of a homeowners association has superior community knowledge with financial expertise. A stay-at-home mom that has raised 3 children has amazing negotiating, management, and conflict resolution skills. Can you see that happening? Yeah. A telemarketer has extensive experience in promotions, marketing, and technology. So if you're coming into real estate with having previous experience someplace else, play that in with your character. Because once you've uncovered your particular set of attributes, now you've got to determine how the experiences are relevant to real estate. So you've got to ask yourself how these values benefit your future clients, present clients, okay? So the key here is to convey exactly how your particular quality adds value to consumers by using the formula. Drum roll, please, write this down. Because of my attribute, clients get benefit. Use this for your vision, your mission, your unique selling proposition, your elevator pitch, all those wonderful things I talked about. Because of my attribute, clients get benefit. I'm going to give you some examples. My career in the Navy provides me with relationships to access thousands of military home buyers and sellers. My ability to speak 2 languages opens your home to many home buyers overlooked by other agents. Being raised in this community gives me local expertise and a wide network of potential home buyers and sellers. Our large real estate company provides exposure to your home to a maximum number of potential buyers. One more time. Because of my attribute, clients get benefit. So it is important to remember that the value proposition can still be unique even if other agents offer similar benefits. Uniqueness can be achieved by using or adding bold, clever, memorable wording. I know I mentioned the thing about cheesy and whatnot, but it sticks. It does stick, right? Okay, so examples for your unique message. Sally Johnson's 6-step guaranteed sale program. John Jackson, born and raised with Seattle knowledge. Janet James, Chicago's premier luxury home specialist. We can do a little bit of a play on words there, or something that rhymes even. I know the cheesy thing, but it does stick. Tony Keller, the home seller. If that doesn't stick, I don't know what will. So once you created your unique value proposition, now you've got to gain the mind share of the public. That message that you've got there is going to be included in all of your print and marketing materials, as well as on your website, your social media. It's essential to have a complete online presence to evidence the ability to market and locate property. And in that, oh, I have a brain break. I forgot about this one. Okay. Then we'll move on. Quick.
Listen, I've got to step out for a bit. I told Stevie if she needed any help
Well, where are you off to?
to pick up the motel coasters.
Oh, you were serious.
Yeah, custom coasters are a very effective marketing tool.
Says who? The guy who invented custom beer cozies?
Coasters work.
Yes, the last thing we want to do is stay in these exquisite tabletops.
Moira, you're having a drink. You glance down at your coaster. It says, tweet us on Facebook or leave us a review. And you say, yeah. Okay, I think I will.
Is that what it says?
Yes, David. That's what it says. You're not the only one with an online presence.
Well, aren't you Mr. Futuristic?
Listen, we had samples made. Take a look.
There's no address on this.
Oh, wow. Aren't we stuck in the dark ages? Huh? Let me break it down for you, Junior. If they're at the motel using the coasters, they don't need to know where the motel is.
I was referring to a web address or a Twitter handle.
Oh.
That might be something you'd want to put on there.
Or a Facebook page.
All right, let me write this down.
Or a hashtag.
Hashtag, is that 2 words?
No, it's not.
I mean, I think by now a lot of us understand that, where you are, yes, you do need a web presence of some kind. So, talking about your web presence, choosing the right social media platform. And I always say, if you've got nothing, start with Facebook. And my infographic here proves that in saying that they have 2.7 billion users. And if you go in succession there down the line, you'll see that YouTube comes next, followed by Instagram, and so on and so forth. But Facebook is the number one. Yes. If you already have a Facebook, branch out to something else. What? Pick. That is of your choosing. But to help us with that, I do have, if anybody's seen or heard or knows about Katie Lance, she is definitely one of my favorites in the industry for real estate, social media, everything. I love me some Tom Ferry. I do. He's great. But I sometimes feel like Katie Lance can break it down simply and quicker. Tom Ferry's videos sometimes go on and on and on, and attention span. So Katie Lance here instead, I would like to play this for you. She is going to talk about which, as I'm reading it right on my screen, which social media platforms should you be on? Yeah, here we go.
Have you ever wondered what social media platforms you should actually be on? Don't worry, I can help. Hey everybody, Katie Lance here, founder and CEO of Katie Lance Consulting, the Get Social Smart Academy, and author of the book, Get Social Smart. It's episode 254 of the Get Social Smart Show. And today I am going to answer the question that I think I get asked the most, which is, Katie, what platforms should I be on? All right, so I have 2 things I want you to consider as you think about this, especially as you think about your social media strategy into 2022 and beyond. 2 things to consider. Number 1, where do you like spending time? I feel like this is one area that isn't talked about as much, but it's really important. Do you like spending time on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter? If you're not sure, I encourage you to spend a little bit of time on each platform. It doesn't mean you actually have to be posting on each platform, but scroll through your feed, scroll through Facebook, scroll through Instagram, check out some of the different platforms, see what other people are posting, kind of get a sense of what the platforms are all about. You might even check to see if some of your colleagues or friends are on there as well. And that's really first and foremost. Where do you enjoy spending time? The second thing to consider is, where are your clients? This is especially important, especially if you are in real estate. And I know we have a lot of real estate folks that are watching this show. So where are your clients? And I think sometimes we assume that our clients are or aren't somewhere, right? We might think, oh, they're totally on Facebook, or they're totally not on Facebook, right? Or they're definitely not on TikTok, or they are on TikTok or Snapchat or whatever it might be. So first and foremost, where do you like being? And number 2, where are your clients at? Now, if you're not sure where your clients are at, this is a great opportunity to ask. If you have an email database, which I'm a big believer in having an email database, because as much as I love social media is a rented ground. We don't own it. And so having an email database, super important. So if you have an email database, why not send an email to your database saying something like, where are you on social media? You might say something like, hey, we are working on improving how we serve you in 2022 and beyond, and we would love to know, where are you spending time these days? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, none of the above. And that'll give your clients an opportunity to respond back. It's a great way to connect with your clients. And as long as you're coming at it from a place of, we want to serve you better, and where are you spending time? You notice how that was much different than, hey, follow me on Facebook, like me here, follow me here, right? It's more of, where are you hanging out, and we want to serve you better. So when you're considering what platforms to be on in 2022 and beyond, again, think about where do you like spending time, and number two, where are your clients hanging out? And at the end of the day, here's the good news. You don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to be all things to all people. So pick one or two places that you enjoy being on, that your clients and prospects are, and go all in. Now, I know you're listening to this going, okay, that sounds great, Katie, but I need to get a handle on my social media strategy in general. So we would love for you to consider our free resource library. If you go to katielance.com/freebies, katielance.com/freebies, we have an entire library of free training and helpful tools that are really going to help you take your strategy to the next level. Now, if you enjoy these videos, we would also love if you'd hit the subscribe and the bell button, because we have new videos that come out each and every week. All right, until next time, have a great day. We'll see you on social media.
She is so right in saying exactly what she's saying. And if you wrote that down, her freebies, she's got some cool freebies, but she also has some other really great videos and resources about social media, and even breaking it down further by platform itself. So she's a fantastic resource over on YouTube. And of course, like everywhere else too, but I watch her on YouTube. So
have you ever wondered what social media?
Slide. There we go. So we're tying it all together now. We are rounding out today's session with our social media planning workflow. Now, I know that you see here numbers on your screen from 1 to 8, but I will tell you that this is not necessarily the order in which you're going to do anything. Yes, number 1 is going to come first. You've got to know your purpose. Yes, number 2 is going to come second. You've got to identify your business goals. Number 3 may not come as number 3. You may want to jump over to number 6. Or number 5 and number 6, and create some kind of content and map your content ideas, something before, and then you're going to share it. Maybe then you're going to see what you get back in return from that. Who was looking at it? What kind of audience did you get? Where can you see these analytics break it down for you? Maybe not. Maybe you're going to go in order as it is here. But still, there are places where you can totally plan what you've got and not necessarily go in order, but still create that kind of a plan. And I wanted to show you this just because kind of know your purpose. That is number 1. And analyzing your results, that is last. But everything in between, you just need some steps. As I've got my steps here, you just need some steps to follow. Write it down for yourself. Follow the steps for yourself. Your workflow can go however you want your workflow to go, but you just need something. Going back to those marketing tasks that we talked about at the beginning, planning, promoting, advertising, social media, emailing, which is not dead, and of course you're reviewing, so your workflow can go in any direction possible. And of course now, lastly too, we talked about a lot of online things, so let's end here with our digital marketing, right? Because we as real estate, okay, I'm not a licensed realtor, but so you guys as real estate, you are marketers who need to work with search engine optimization to drive the organic traffic to your website through search engines, because SEO experts, work hard to achieve good keyword rankings, and so do you. You need to do that as well. And once SEO brings in the traffic, now you have to streamline the process to finding what your audience needs. A website is your brand's landing page. Everybody says, well, I need to make a landing page. No, you need a website. That's what you need. That's what it is. Websites are a brand's landing page. Now, luckily for you, Prime Agent has all of the tools built in, so you don't have to worry about conforming with, is it online the right way? Is it showing up the right way? Is it on a mobile device the right way? Prime Agent does that all for you. But if you choose to be outside of Prime Agent and have a website outside of Prime Agent, you need to be able to navigate to learn about new tactics, new policies, innovations, and adapt to these, and adapt all of those to the landscape that you created for yourself in your website to keep your site updated and operational. So word of advice, just get a Prime Agent website because it's all there for you. You also need to maintain a high level of content updates in your having good grammar. Just have good grammar. How many times do I see, like capitalize, just have good grammar. That's, And social media, every platform has its pros and cons for you. So using various platforms with good results takes analysis and planning. Maybe you're going to start out with just that one because that's all you can handle. That's good. Starting with one, get it down, do well, then move on. Because the last piece that you've got is your analytics. That's how you're going to have a comprehensive detail of how did your campaigns do? How did that newsletter do? You sent out the Prime Agent newsletter. Go back into Prime Agent, look at the history of the newsletter. Who opened it? Who didn't open it? Who had a bad email? Who had a good email? Also, you can see in your Prime Agent by adding in a Google tracking code to use Google Analytics to show more about who's visiting your website. Now, you can't necessarily see Sally visited your website, but you can see that you had a visitor from Fairfield, New Jersey. That you can see. So you can see where visitors are coming from, what they view, how long they're staying. Don't forget about your advertising. You know, it's a combination of using network ad programs, Facebook ads, promoted posts, things like that. You know, buying those paid things versus having things that are free, using your SEO to make sure you are doing free things there. You as a realtor need to be a skilled digital marketer because you need to increase your brand awareness, right? Okay, we're going to talk about homework. Let me bring up my homework. I will post this in the Google group, but here is homework. This is your last required homework. This particular homework needs to go to Diana and myself. You need to send it to the two of us. Both of us need to see this. This is the required for course completion certificate homework. So what you need to do is you need to create your own original content and post it on your business social media. So if you have no presence, you went through this entire class and said, man, I got to get on that like now. You're going to follow the first step. You're going to create that Facebook business page, create one post introducing yourself and invite your current friends to like your page. Does it have to be all 500 people you're friends with? No, you can certainly go and be selective about it. Definitely. Am I going to help you through the process? No, this is one time where you're not going to get my help. This is homework. This is why this is called homework. Now, if you already have a Facebook business page and you have no other social media, just that one thing there, create an image or a video post. Now, I did show you that wonderful video about videos. Try a video post. I know image posts are just so easy, but try a video post. You can do it. You got a phone. It's there. You try. Now, if you have two platforms, I know a lot of you have a LinkedIn and Facebook, or Facebook and an Instagram, something. Create an image post for one and a video post for another. If you're going to put that video on Instagram, do make sure that you follow their rules for having it being 60 seconds or less. So actually make it 59 seconds. If you've got more than that, if you have a LinkedIn, you've got a Facebook, and you've got an Instagram, I don't know, something else you might have, you got to do 3 things. And I put on the homework there all of the URLs that go to all of the Realty Executives social media that we have. So if you've got 3 platforms, you want to put a video on one, put an image on another, and share content that's already created from Realty Executives to your social media. Super easy, especially on Facebook. Go to the Realty Executives New Jersey Facebook page, hit the share button, share to page you manage, put it on your Facebook business page. Can't be any easier. I've done my homework. I know which ones of you have more than one social media. So if you're going to tell me I don't have any, I did my homework. I know what I'm looking for. So do make sure that you got some kind of presence if you have nothing. And I also know where I've not found some things. So yes. But again, in creating that Facebook business page, you're on your own. And I promise you it's easy. And I promise you can do it. Have faith in yourself. I have faith in you. I know you can do this. If you're having trouble submitting your URL, if you're not quite sure what it looks like, what do you have to copy and paste to put into the email, that I can help you with. I do want to make sure that you submit this successfully. It is your last homework. It should be one of your best ones that you have. So I will post this in the Google group as soon as we finish here for the evening. So questions on homework, kindly unmute yourself and ask me whatever you have questions on.
Bridget, I just have a quick question.
Yes.
So you want us to do an image or a video on our social media, and then you want us to do what from the Realty Executives?
Well,
pages?
if you've got more, at least 3 platforms, you're going to
Okay.
do, or is it that 2 platforms? What do you got going
Yeah,
on?
I have Instagram and Facebook.
If you have Instagram and Facebook, put a video post on one and an image post on the other. You're good to go.
Okay.
Bridget, I have a quick question. So if I post it on Instagram or my LinkedIn, how do we get that to you? Just send you a link, the URL, or
Exactly.
a screenshot?
Yep, URL, just copy that URL there. That's going to be in your browser bar. It's probably going to look something like
But if I'm doing it from my phone, like let's say I'm posting it on Instagram, will a screenshot suffice? Because I know with LinkedIn, as long
Certainly.
okay,
I will
just making
take it.
sure. Okay, thanks.
Indeed.
Bridget, I only have Facebook, so do I need to get on Instagram too, or just Facebook is enough?
Facebook works. I would like to see an image or a video post on your business Facebook page.
Okay. I will try.
Fantastic. I like try. Try is the goal. Anybody else? Questions about homework?
Hi. A video of me speaking or something from Realty Executives?
Wow, man, I'd love a video of you talking. That'd be great.
No, that I can't do. Is that what you really want me to do?
I would love that. Yeah. Talk to your clients. What do your clients want to know? Is it market information? Is it a lasagna recipe? Is it about the dog park down the street or the tree lighting in town? Or maybe I'm giving you all a freebie on this one because I just thought of this myself. So if you need some content to post, whether it is an image or a video, you can totally steal this idea. Your illustrious leader for the evening, my birthday is on Monday. So you could totally post an image or a video thanking me for the wonderfulness you have learned in this class. That is totally usable content. It not only promotes who you are, it promotes what you're doing, it promotes the fact that you are serious about what you're doing in the real estate industry, and it also shows that you are an elite executive with Realty Executives. Post made. Done.
Thank you.
Anytime. Okay. Any other questions before we move on? Bueller? As a matter of fact.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
So, I am now your favorite instructor because class has ended early. There might also be a show I like to watch at 8 o'clock, but that's, neither here nor there. So, please, homework. It is your last one. As much as I'm not going to help you create your social platforms, I will gladly help in attaining your URLs. Kim was asking about a screenshot. I will gladly take a screenshot as well. That completely works. Whether you're taking it with your phone or you've got a screenshot program you got going on, that's fine. I'm not fussy. I just want to see that you have taken what you've got here today. You are applying it to what you're doing. You're getting that brand character. You are creating it for yourself. I'm babbling on and on. Go away. Goodbye. See you. Next week's graduation.
Thanks, Bridget. Have a good
Thank
day.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Bridget.
Bye.
Take care.
All right, you have a nice one, Miss Bridget.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night. You're quite welcome.
Thank you.
Good night. You're welcome.